Hello my friends and welcome. Yeah, it's kind of the twisty road here, as you may see. I just put, I wouldn't say the random destination, I know where I'm going, some sort of the local pass, but I don't know the name of it. I just want to drive, so I turn from the main highway and we are on the way. Yeah, I want to record this video just in talkative form, speaking about the recent events, what worries me, and you may just enjoy the road, because I guess I'm gonna put my image as the smaller window and the bigger image will go for the road itself. Now I use two of the cameras. One is DJI Osmo Action 4 that films the road, and DJI Osmo Action 5 which films me right now with this microphone DJI mic mini. I don't really like the sound of this mic, but that's the best I have to connect to this camera wirelessly, so I don't know if you enjoyed the sound, but anyways, I want to film this video. And what worries me, my friends, is obviously the situation in Ukraine, because as you know, I'm from Ukraine myself and I have the channel dedicated to that topic. And what is happening now on the front lines, and I would say everywhere connected to Ukraine, I don't really like. The only positive thing that happened for the last few months is that Ukraine managed to counterattack Russian forces in the Dobrapilya direction. It was a successful move for Ukrainian military command, but other than that, on the ground there are no any even light things happening. Well, maybe also partially in Sumy Oblast, Ukraine holds the Russian attacks, but mainly like what is happening even in Zaporizhia region, Dnipropetrovsk, how Russia takes the ground there, well, it's uncomparable to Ukrainian limited success. And also, as we know, Pokrovsk, Mirnograd, I would say that now our guys are in operative encirclement. So the situation there is not good at all, and the Russians are peering more and more reinforcements. Those are kind of the ugly looking Russian troops on those motorcycles, on used vehicles, civilian vehicles, even sometimes with donkeys, but they move, they walk, they infiltrate into those settlements and they take the ground, which is not what we like to see as the viewers of my channel. Of course, I am a pro-Ukrainian speaker, but then there are no many good news. I am also kind of frustrated, and yeah, what is happening now in Ukraine. And also, this particular scandal, the scandal with the management of energy infrastructure of Ukraine, nuclear power energy, well, it just erupted, the day before yesterday, and I want to record the video, like full video on my main channel about that one, to tell the situation as it is, but still I'm researching to give all of the even lightest details to say about this feature from the very beginning till what we have now. There's some of the anti-corruption criminal cases open, even against Zelensky's friends, Timur Mindich, who is a very, very close friend of Vladimir Zelensky, and miraculously he left Ukraine right after there were some of the searches in his property, apartments, houses, buildings. He owns quite a lot, so there were the schemes. For now, Nabu released the statement and some of the audio information, how they listen to those corrupt officials. Well, still Zelensky is not like fully into this case, but very, very close people to him are actually involved in this very terrible thing. Just a long story short, what they've done is they created some sort of the shadow scheme where they actually owned the companies. There was the ownership of the companies, but they create over ownership of the companies, so it's just a shadow management of the companies. And if those energy companies didn't agree on that, well, it means that their property was confiscated. They were under some sort of the scrutinized machine of the government itself. Even their workers were purposely mobilized for serving in army if they refuse to give at least 15% of their energy income to this shadow government. And this shadow not the government, shadow management. And that shadow management consists of many guys who are very close to Zelensky. And on this channel I already recorded the video about Firepoint company. There were some of the accusations from the New York Times towards it. Firepoint is also ruled by some sort of the Zelensky's friends, but New York Times article didn't present us any sort of the evidence, and there is no official criminal case open. But here, with Timur Mindic involved, well, we have general accusations, and I guess that the National Anti-Corruption Bureau, oh, nice motorcycle, I think it's a Yamaha or something. Well, the National Anti-Corruption Bureau, they will release more of the evidence to the public, I'm sure about it, and we'll see more and more schemes. For now, they released the data for $100 million of bribes. 100 million, it's still, oh, one more motorcyclist. Just imagine, $100 million. How many drones you could buy for that sum? But I'm sure that it's just the tip of the iceberg, maybe the part of the tip of the iceberg, because 100 million is what was laundered via special funds or special companies which are connected to Russians or ex-Ukrainians, it's better to say, those who fled Ukraine and now serve for Russians. There is the member of parliament Derkach who left Ukraine, and now he is a Russian senator. So via his company, those money were laundered, actually. Money laundering, yeah, like, you understand what I mean. And as our volunteer Sternenko says, he has a big fund, he's the biggest drone volunteer of Ukraine. He also has kind of the popular YouTube channel. He recorded the video about this corruption scandal already. Well, he says that his fund alone cannot compete with those kind of the bribes. So they, from all of the donations from Ukraine and outside Ukraine, they collect less money for the drones per year than this part of the tip of the iceberg that was published, uncovered. Well, I'm sure that they will find more of the stuff. So that's what the National Anti-Corruption Bureau published just right now. And now I understand why Zelensky and Ukrainian government, they wanted to block the independence of the Anti-Corruption Bureau and the independence of the Anti-Corruption Prosecution Office a few months ago. But Ukrainians went on protests, and Zelensky was forced basically to backtrack his decision, not just because of the protests, but because of the European officials. They told Zelensky, come on guy, what are you doing? Do you really want Ukraine to join European family or what? So please backtrack your decision. And he was forced to do it. Well, there was a risk in this case for Zelensky's friends, and as we see right now, definitely the risk was quite significant. Somehow Mindic left country and he is running somewhere. Yeah, very, very close friend of Zelensky, if not the closest one. They started the business, then Zelensky was in Quartal 95. And Mindic actually was a person who connected Zelensky with Kolomoisky, Ukrainian big oligarch who is now in Ukrainian prison somehow, even though United States asked to send him to United States because he's been persecuted by FBI even for some of the schemes. But Zelensky keeps him in Ukrainian prison. Well, it's officially a jail, but inside it's like apartment building. So he spends the time in kind of the comfy apartment with access to internet, to television, to everything, has his personal toilet, and has just these guards that let him out occasionally, yeah, just to the local perimeter. So for Kolomoisky, of course, it's better to stay in Ukraine than to be deported or sent to United States of America, where the prison could be not that nice for Kolomoisky. Yes, Zelensky has very close ties with Kolomoisky. Oh, we have some sort of, what are they doing here? Okay, they're cleaning the road. Always they're doing something with the road here in Switzerland. So, Zelensky has really good relations with Kolomoisky, or had. I'm not sure how it is right now, but it was a project of Kolomoisky to film the movie Servant of People, that caused Zelensky to be actually elected as the president of Ukraine, because he played the role of the president, and that series, it went so much popular that people expected to him to play, not play, but to be this in real life. But no, it was just a project to elect Zelensky somewhere. And well, we have a cafe here. Let's park. Have a great parking. You see, awesome place. And I want to take my camera out and maybe to hike here a little. I wonder what's the name of the place. I just put in navigator, you know, some sort of the pass, and now we have this very beautiful, those very beautiful mountains, cafe, fields, and I see that people are just arriving here for maybe even hiking. I'm not sure, but I'm here for hiking, so I'll take one camera and we'll continue our conversation, guys. Yeah, guys, definitely a wonderful place. I'll just put my car on park. You can do it remotely, so I'm gonna put 1 hour and I'll pay nothing. Awesome. So maybe it's just a usual working day, then I don't pay, but usually you pay something, at least maybe 1 franc, 2 francs. And here is where I can go. Yeah, it looks like a Wanderweg. Oh, poor Katze. He's lost, I guess. Yeah, Jesus, it's very bad that it lost. Just look at this very beautiful nature. Well, in Ukraine we also have kind of similar nature in Carpathian mountains, but here I would say it's absolutely everywhere. Very nice. And probably this is the ski lift here, some sort of the cable road, but as you see, it's November months and we don't have snow yet. Also, there could be some of the mushrooms in this forest. Very dense, by the way, and it all goes down. Yeah, I really like today's weather. I didn't even take my jacket because I understand that I'll be walking uphill probably. And here they write something, iron bike race. What is this? Well, you can go there with a backpack, like this is the symbol, or you can go on a bike, which is pretty much okay. Mountain bike Bismitas. So it's closed for mountain bikes. This some of the paths there, but I'm not sure what kind of, because I'm just gonna hike. Well, guys, let's go back to today's main topic about this Mindich. Even before this scandal, he was known as the wallet of Zelensky. I mean, he was involved in some, you know, phishing stuff before. There were some of the rumors, but it's the first time then it became evident that something is absolutely not okay with Mindich, and hopefully prosecution, they will find out everything about him. And something tells me that there could be some of the connections with Zelensky itself, since they're in a closed circle. And I hope it didn't happen, you know. We have those scandals and it undermines absolutely everything. Coordination within Ukraine, between society, between government. It's now very crucial for Ukraine to maintain this good relation and trust between government and people. But no, there's no trust at all, especially after those scandals. I understand that Ukraine is not Russia, that we have less corruption than in Russia, but still, you know, the country is at the brink, fighting against this enemy, and with those scandals, like, it costs human lives basically, and those elite corrupt bastards, they don't really care about Ukrainian army losses, they don't care about the Ukrainians. For them, Ukraine is like this place where they can earn money using those very terrible thief schemes and then live as Mindich did, yeah? It is very, very bad, and it also undermines not just this trust, yeah, within Ukraine, but also the trust between Ukraine and our European partners, American partners. Russia will spread this information all around, also adding their bullshit as usual, yeah? But actually Russia is not to blame here for those corruption scandals. It is just Ukrainian management, Ukrainian government, especially if we speak about energy sector, you know. It is very important for military, very important for people. There are blackouts all the time, and there are bribes, 10, 15%. Where did those money go? Of course, in the pockets. Jesus. And yes, I don't really trust Zelensky. I don't trust any sort of the politician, actually. In Ukraine, I used to live for a very long time. We had different presidents, and each president promises something, you know, and delivers nothing, absolutely. I think it's getting worse and worse with every president in Ukraine. Well, with Zelensky there is a war, you may say, but still, during the war, corruption schemes, I do not believe that Zelensky didn't know about it, with his friend especially. Mindich was or is his friend. It's impossible not to know about those schemes. So we may say that, okay, Zelensky is not corrupt. Maybe, but his friends are. So it tells also a lot about Zelensky personally. Tell me who is your friend and I tell you who you are. There is the uphill for me here. So I have to breathe more than usual. And yeah, this is the end of the ski lift. And there is the mountain on top. Mountain here, mountain there, very beautiful. Like Switzerland is really beautiful. And you know what I like about Switzerland? I pay taxes and I'm sure that they are going to the proper place. In Ukraine, then I pay taxes. I'm sure that the great part of it goes to the pockets of the corrupt managers, corrupt government, even during the time of the war. It is unhinged, it is crazy, but it is a reality. Yeah, we may say that, okay, Hungary is corrupt, some other countries like Moldova is also corrupt. Well, Moldova is not a part of the European Union, but still, like, Hungary is the most corrupt country of the European Union, but they are not at war. Ukraine is at war with this enemy. For me, it's a miracle, surprise how Ukraine is still withstands against this external enemy as Russia, having internal enemy. The government itself, it seems like the internal enemy of Ukraine in this case, and those officials who are at the top rank involved in coordination with this government in those corruption schemes. Wow. Yeah, here I'm very happy that I left Ukraine, actually, because you never know what they can do with you if you start to speak about it openly. And our volunteers, like for example Sternenko, whom I watch constantly, well, he's a brave guy, brave, speaking about it on his audience, all around, posting truthful information in internet. Of course, we need to speak about it, and I will not stay calm, because of course there will be people who would say, Denys, you should be just positive about Ukraine. You should tell just the positive stuff because it may lower the support of Ukraine from West. West already knows that. The idea of independent journalism is to tell the things as they are, from the perspective. Truth matters. If you start to hide truth and tell just about pink ponies and rainbows and that the Ukrainian army is always winning and Russians are on their donkeys attacking and they're useless, they're chmobiks, they're no one, well, it will not bring any sort of the profit for Ukraine in this case. I would look like a clown. Not some, but many of the pro-Ukrainian YouTubers who look like a clown, actually, clowns in this case, telling that Russia is always losing. No, we need to tell about realities. In reality, I'm trying to be positive actually, but I don't see, or I see just few things which are positive. If you look at the wider picture, it's not positive at all, my friends, and I just, my soul hurts. I want to smash something because of those corruption scandals, because I love my country, I love my people, but the government, even during the wartime, it's crazy what they do. And Zelensky, he created this some sort of the PR view of him abroad, that oh, he's a hero. Many people under my videos, they comment, Zelensky is a hero, Zelensky. So he associated himself with the country and the Ukrainian people. Yeah, during this very hard period of time, Ukrainians unite also around the government, because there is no other way, yeah? If the United States somehow attacks Venezuela, people will unite around Maduro. Yeah, many of the Venezuelans, they may not like Maduro, but they will not have the other way out, because it's the only legitimate government they have, yeah? And there will be the external aggression for them in this case, and they will unite. Venezuelans, they don't hate their government as, for example, Iraqis. And during the Iraq war, there was the support from the locals for United States Army, but later on it vanished. Yeah, sorry for this comparison. United States and Russia, they're absolutely different. Yes, United States also has ambitions, military ambitions, but Venezuelan, oh, they're dropping some of the stones there on the track. Well, Maduro is a dictator bastard, so I'll be happy if he is dismissed, but starting military conflict there, I don't think it's a good idea for the United States to have one more Iraq just closer. And before the war, Zelensky promised everything. Golden age is coming, you know, very similar to Donny, by the way. And he delivered nothing. That's why his rating dropped to 19%, something like that, 19. But then the war had started, his rating again rose up to 90%, or 93 it was at some period of time. Now it's roughly 50, and with those scandals, of course, it will drop even lower. I didn't vote for Zelensky, and you know, after those Nabu scandals, I will never vote for him once again. I think he messed up with so lot of stuff. At the beginning of the war, he was not prepared for it, absolutely. There were the calls like nothing will happen, Russia will not start the war against Ukraine, be calm, we're gonna make a barbecue this May or something like that. And after all, he did everything to demotivate Ukrainians in general, not him personally mainly, but Ukrainian government. Some of the tourists are here. There with sticks. I don't walk with sticks because I like my hands to be free. Maybe I should... Oh, they're really putting some of the stones there. There is the crane or something, or escalator and some sort of the truck, and they load huge stones. I can already hear it. Yeah, no, I'm so frustrated that I lost my thought. Okay, I'm gonna walk just a little bit on my own. I'm gonna think about it and turn on the camera a little later. Yeah, it was a big truck. I wonder how they drive on this very narrow road, but somehow they do it. Yeah, probably I chose the wrong place to hike, because on other part there is the sun, and here there is no sun, and it's kind of cold because of that. But anyways, today's hike will not be that long. I climbed here. Then you are on a diet, it's kind of difficult, you know, you have this lack of the energy. Oh Jesus. Just look at this view, so amazing. Wow, I wonder if I can reach those mountains. Well, not today of course, but maybe something bigger than just hike here. Whew. This is the farmhouse, and I came from that very far away. For me it was like 1 hour and a half ride drive here. Whew, awesome. Oh guys, well, I see on top of this mountain there is a cross, so idea is to climb it here and check it out. For you it looks distant and very small mountain, but in fact it's quite high. Yeah, now I have the variant to turn to the left or to turn to the right, but I prefer to climb this one for today at least. It's the first time for me being here in this magical place, magical forest with magical mushrooms, or I say too much. Oh, just imagine eat some of the magical mushrooms accidentally and run into the forest at night. That could be hilarious. Oh, it's very wet out here. You see? It's so nasty. But I already chose this road, so if you choose the road, you need to continue. That is always what I say. If you choose, you need to go till the very end until you reach your target, which is in this case a mountain. Oh, so beautiful. The roots of the trees. Nice. They're like those steps here. Wow, just look at this trail. Absolute awesome. I'm on a trail already once again. The cross is out there on the mountain, but I didn't see the trail to reach it, so maybe if I just continue like that, maybe there is the way out, and I'm not sure. Or maybe this trail goes just across those mountains, this beautiful mountain range. Yeah, just look at this. Wow. That's the view. For this view, it was worth to climb this hill or mountain. Snowy mountains, snowy tops, and no one is here. No one is here. That's so awesome, you know, that there's no one for this distance. Crazy. Sometimes it's crowded if it was a weekend or something, but now it's all mine for today, for this hour, this moment. Wow, great. Yeah, that's why I love Switzerland. And you know, guys, Ukraine will not change for decades ahead. I mean, sometimes people ask me, if I want to return back home? Honest question, or honest answer, I'm sorry. I don't want to. It doesn't mean that I want to stay exactly here in this wonderful area, no. But going back to Ukraine, knowing how it could be, I mean the country, the attitude, and no corruption almost, because even here there is corruption, but it's uncomparable to what is happening in Ukraine. So I would say that, honest answer, I don't want my family to stay in the corrupt country. That's what I see. And if it doesn't change during the wartime, after war, everything will stay the same. There will be decades of the same stuff. If you grown up in Ukraine, you'll understand it. I'm sorry. If you grown up in Ukraine, if you used to live in Ukraine, you understand this problem with government institutions and everything. Here it's absolutely not a problem for me. Bureaucracy for me is absent. I communicate with government authorities as with friends, at least in the place where I live. They are so, like, if you do not violate regulations, if you do not violate law, they're happy and you are happy. You know, I want to record the video about taxes in Switzerland and my experience with those tax advisors. My experience here, it wasn't good, but those are the private institutions. They want just money from you most of the time. And this year, for the first time, I filled out my first tax return form myself. I mean, not the first one, but the first I made myself. And it's damn easy. But you pay for those tax consultants huge sums of money. Huge. The first time I paid thousands just to fill this form and put everything together. I mean, calculating income, outcome. But it's an easy thing to do yourself, and you don't need to be certified institution to fill the tax return form. Just fill it, count your own income, outcome, and everything will be fine. And yeah, I really want to film the video about a specific case. That's what I don't really like in this country, that all of those lawyers, firms, companies, they want to take money from you, nothing more. And they'll charge you on top for every sort of the small occasion. finally we are at some sort of the top here. Nice. And what we see, maybe you don't see because of the sun, but I see a very nice scenery. Just, you know, this tree huge over here. Wow. This is very nice. Well, I want you to see this part. Oh, there's a paraglider. Nice. Paraglider flies. And soon it's gonna be a sunset. Whew. But I need to go to that cross. That's my point of today's trip. I saw it, I want to reach it. Yes. Yeah. Here it goes. There is the cross. Yeah. Whew, freaking finally. I can feel the heartbeats in my ears. But for this view, absolutely, it's worth it. Just look at this. Look all around. Wow. Such a view. I think I climbed like maybe 500 meters. Today maybe more. Well, that one is higher, that mountain. But in this area, I think this one is higher. And we have this cross. Nice. Oh, there's the place for barbecue. If I knew, I would get some of the sausages. Nice. Great. Whew. Whew, guys. I like this trip a lot. Oh, those are the airplanes flying. Those are pilotos. I forgot the number. They scream like Formula 1 cars. Really powerful turboprop airplanes, small ones, and they serve for Swiss Air Force. So yeah, unfortunately, I didn't want to go back for mainly this reason, because my government really sucks. All of the institutions in the country, they suck, and I didn't see the perspective for it to improve in the coming years and years. Unfortunately, I don't want my child to grow up in this kind of the environment, and I want her to live in a normal country. As I say to you, not Switzerland exactly, but we'll see. We'll see what it might happen, because I live today. Yeah, what is happening today is what I have. I don't have long plans or short plans. I'm on temporary status. There's the war in Ukraine, so I don't know. If they will tell me go back, I will go back, of course. For me, personally, it's like more or less okay, but for the family, I don't think that Ukraine is the best option to live this life. And we live just once, so as normal human beings, we are looking for some places where it will be more comfortable for us, better in a way. Ukraine is not the worst country out there, just try to understand. But for me personally, then you understand how the country should work, all of those institutions should work. Yeah, Ukraine is far, far, far behind European Union countries even. There will be a new generation that will rebuild the country, but it takes so much time, so even my grandkids will not see a prosperous Ukraine without corruption. I am sure about it. Unfortunately, yeah. Without absolutely radical reforms, it's not possible, and I don't see any sort of the way out to elect normal leaders, especially right now that there is a war in Ukraine. I'm still against elections now, because it could create so much internal pressure, internal like division, national division in the country. But if National Anti-Corruption Bureau start to dig deeper and they will find out that maybe even Zelensky is corrupt himself, I think he should voluntarily resign in this case, just to avoid some internal instability, but it should be done very briefly with Prime Minister who would take responsibilities. But it's early to say, because there are no proofs that Zelensky himself is corrupt, but his circle, mainly it's all corrupt. And if they start to dig down under Andriy Yermak, who is now the head of the president's office, I'm sure that he is also involved in lots of the stuff, which is not good, absolutely. Yeah, guys, the situation is like that. And if you think that you know Ukrainian president, you know it just from those placards, posts, pictures, interviews, visits to Western countries. all of this informational field that created around him. He is a professional in that PR. He is coming from the show business. He knows how to operate and how influence public. After all, he was one of the most popular artists out there in Ukraine. His projects were the most successful. So the public appearance is not what Zelensky inside, really. And believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I used to live in Ukraine under Zelensky's ruling. I saw how all of those promises were ignored by him later on. He is a populist politician, same as Dony, same as, who else? Mamdani, this guy, yeah, in New York. Those populists, they are like that. And only war made Zelensky so popular, especially in 2022. And still, he keeps his popularity because people understand that it's better not to dismiss him right now. It's better not to create internal instability. So elections, I still think that they are not needed even now. Unfortunately, yeah. I would like to see new faces in the Ukrainian government, but with this aggression from Russia, not now, I would say. Well, guys, it was a good hike actually, and we spoke about really philosophical questions. Obviously, I'll have some of the dislikes under this video. It's normal. As I tell you, always, I tell what I think. That's what I think, and I base my opinion, try to base it on facts and my previous experience. Today it's gonna be a stream, then I return back after a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours, we'll see. And one more video about the Ukrainian update, situation on the front lines, and not only. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky, wherever you are. Ciao.